My wife Jill shared with me a great quote from Tim Keller that I wanted to share with you today. He says, "Truth without love is harshness. It may be right, but you ignore it because of its bite. Truth with love transforms." You know, Keller's quote reminds me of something we know here in Utah. They're called street preachers. These are the guys who go down to Temple Square during General Conference and scream and yell at Latter-day Saints about aspects of their doctrine. These guys may think they have something to share that is truthful, but the way they do it is so biting that I don't think anybody down there at Temple Square listens in to what they perceive to be the truth is. It's not very welcoming, it's not very warm. But the question is, how effective is that? To go down to Temple Square, to assert your boldness, to tell people who believe something very deeply how wrong they are, how foolish they are, how stupid they are, to denounce the things that are most sacred to them. How would any of us feel when somebody would come to us with quote unquote the truth, but they share it with us in a confrontational, in your face, hard way, without any love whatsoever? It's just biting truth, like Keller says. So when we feel that truth is being applied harshly or with a bite, what do? What do most people do? They build a wall of protection. They defend themselves. Here in Utah, we call it kicking over the beehive. If you come to Utah, the symbol of Utah is the beehive with the busy bees. And if you kick over a beehive, you get all the bees very angry. And sometimes people come into Utah to tell members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints that they are in error, and they do it with harsh, biting truth, and they kick over the beehive. Then those of us who are evangelicals in Utah living here have to deal with a lot of angry bees that are feeling very offended and very hurt by somebody kicking over their beehive. And that's not going to help anyone here feel like we have something to share. So truth without love is harsh, but truth with love is inviting. Now, I just want to make it clear, obviously, as we want to share truth with somebody, when we believe we have the truth, it just obviously sets up a point of tension or potential conflict in that relationship, because you're telling them something they don't know about or they don't believe in, and you want them to believe in it. So you can see how that creates tension. So, how do we do this? Well, sometimes we attack people, and sometimes we shame them. Sometimes we even try to scare them into believing our truth. Shame, fear, attacking. All these are ways to try to persuade and maybe even manipulate people to believe what we believe. As if to say they're in a burning fire and we're warning them because they're in great danger, great peril. And if they don't respond to our truth right away, they're going to die in the fire. And so we're loving them by telling them how much danger they're in. But I have to ask a question. Is this what we call good news? Because actually, good news is far more appealing and attractive than that. It's not just the sound of danger or shame or being attacked. Good news is exciting. It's an invitation. It's attractive. It's compelling. It's come and see. We have found the Messiah. He's going to change our lives. Jesus has done so much for us. Come and see. It's an invitation, not an attack. So we need to do what Keller is telling us to do, to combine truth with love. And we do that when we build relationships with people, when we spend time with them, when we get to know their story, when we listen to them, when we empathize with what they're dealing with. Just because somebody believes something different than you do, and you might be concerned about that because you don't think they believe the correct thing, there's all kinds of ways in which we can understand them better and understand why they believe those things. That gives an open door for more conversation. So spending time building relationships, empathizing, that's the expression of truth in love. And remember, whenever we share truth with somebody else, we know that we're not always going to be able to be persuasive or attractive in what we're trying to share with them. We know that people are dealing with different things. They've got issues in their lives. So again, we maintain the relationship, but we pull back and we don't have to push our agenda onto anybody. This coin reminds me about what we're talking about today. You see, back in 2004, as the LDS Church held its annual general conference in April and October, a bunch of evangelical churches combined together with Standing Together to do something called Mission Loving Kindness. For years, the street preachers have been coming to denounce Mormonism, to challenge Mormon thinking, to attack the Latter-day Saints as they were on their way to their meetings. And we were really tired of this because we didn't feel it was the right way to share your disagreements with somebody else about anything. And so a bunch of churches got together and we lined North Temple, both sides of the street, and we just expressed love and kindness to Latter-day Saints as they were on their way to General Conference. And it was like a buffer between us and those street preachers. And they were so thankful. They were frankly amazed that some Christians were out there kind of standing up for them against these people who were attacking them. And later that afternoon, an old man came up to me and he put this very coin, this exact coin, in my hand. And he told me, "Thank you for what you and your friends are doing here today." And when I realized this was an authentic silver coin, I said, "Sir, you don't have to pay for our kindness today. It's for free." And I wanted to give it back to him. But he told me that he did not want to take it back. He said, "You're doing something very nice for me and my church. And I was wondering if I could just express my gratitude by giving you that coin. Won't you just let me do that?" And I said, "Well, I'll let you do it, but I want you to know something. I'm never going to trade it in. I'm never going to cash it out. But I will keep it as a reminder, and I will tell other people our story, that when we express love and kindness to you, you were responsive to that, and you appreciated it so much you wanted to say thank you." And so truth shared in love will always bring that warm receptivity that truth without love just cannot create.